Well, hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Spectacle Island. We're cleaning up a bit of a mess at the moment. It rained pretty much all of the day yesterday after we'd finished doing our work with Mark, and we greeted like quite a big mess on all the animals. There is lots of things that need cleaning up, so we're just going to get in and do that. But I've also come to the very quick realization we're running out of feed for the sheep. We haven't made any hay. Obviously we can mow some grass because that's all they need. We could get that sorted out, but we don't have any hay. And add to that, my plans to get some cows, we need to be able to make some TMR and get some hay and silage for those as well. So I think today we are going to be focusing on trying to get another field, clearing some more land so we can get the grass ready for that. I'm also contemplating, I was really contemplating sowing the field that we put the lime on last time as a grass field again, just so we can use that to do the same, because otherwise we are really going to be caught short here with feed. We've got plenty of food for everything else, so we're not too worried about that. But I'm just going to race through and get everything tidied up here. It's actually taking a bit longer than I thought. I should probably just use the wheel loader rather than the wheelbarrow, but we'll get it done. But we'll get everything tidied up. I'm not going to bother feeding any of the animals right now. We're just going to make sure we've got rid of all this mess and topped up their feed troughs that way, and then we will be into the work for the day. Alright, so we've got a lot of wool actually. We're going to have to move some of this or we're going to run out of space. Once that pallet's full, we'll probably start getting a warning popping up. But what are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10,000 litres of wool sitting there, which is good. We've got everything cleaned up both over here at the sheep and for the pigs. Just taking a look at the animals, you can see the chickens are actually looking pretty good there. The sheep, they'll clean, this will pop up. Got about 50% grass, so they're not doing too bad. And then the pigs, they're getting a little bit low on their food. They've still got a decent amount. Obviously the cleanliness will pop up because we've just done that. But otherwise everything's looking pretty good. Look at that, we're getting a new animal every 3 hours. So there's 8 per day. We're up to 50 already. I don't actually know how many that pen holds actually. We might just check that in the shop. This one we've got $7,500. It holds 90, so we're not maxed out yet, which is good. We do need to keep an eye on that though. It's going to fill up pretty quick, and we'll have to get some sold, which is not too much of a problem. Now, talking about cows, we'll just take a quick look. Here is the cow pasture I will get. This is I think it was Fu Farmer who did these for 2019 or FS19, same as the sheep enclosure we've got right here. And the plan was just in here just to come down and put this down somewhere around about here. I think it's not quite at the same angle, but I actually think that'll be kind of cool having them wrap around a little bit. We've obviously got the track we've put in here for the pigs, so we might come down. I might come down and clear some of these smaller trees, maybe a couple of these bigger ones out as well. In fact, we could even mow a little bit of this area down around here. Perhaps we could even clear out some of those smaller trees, mow that whole lot, and then we'll have some space to put this down. But we're obviously no point putting it down now because we have no feed for the cows, so that would be something we need to get sorted out first. At the very least, we need some hay. Optimally, we would get some silage as well, so we can mix some TMR up somehow. But there we are. Now, I saw our worker arrive, so let's go over and see who we have with us today, and we're going to get them started on some cultivating in the field, so we can at least get that ready to plant, while we go over and take care of some cutting down some trees and getting a field ready to mow. So I'd like to say a very warm welcome to Spectacle Island to Derek Greenhell. Now, Derek has been a subscriber for a long time and has offered in the last video to come and give me a hand. So we've got Derek here. We're going to get him to work in the Fent very soon. We'll go and set him up to start cultivating that field and getting it ready to plant. And depending how we go, we'll decide whether we put grass in it, seed it with some grass, or whether we might make enough other space with a second field that we can get some grass off that. Or maybe we'll double up and do both, knowing we can plough that field up again once we're finished with it. But welcome along, Derek. Nice to have you here. Thank you for your offer of help, and I hope you enjoy your time. So we'll go and get you set up and get started. Alright, there's Derek. He has got the Deutz. We've got the cultivator there on the back. So might have to actually consider upgrading this cultivator at the moment. Probably a little bit small for this tractor. Obviously when we purchased it, it was the only thing we could run behind the Fent, but now we've got this tractor, more horsepower. We should probably look at upgrading that. So We'll get Derek moving in here. It's obviously going to take him a wee while to get it done. Not too long. These fields aren't as big as you think. They're deceptive, but we'll leave him. That'll keep him busy while we are over and starting to cut down a few trees. And there he goes. He is off. And see, there we go. Getting that cultivated, getting that lime mixed in, and getting rid of that, what was in here? Soybean stubble. So we'll leave him to keep on running around here, and we will go and start cutting down a few trees. I think if we start down in the cow area, and then we'll go have a look. What I normally do is we mark out a bit of a field with the vent with the mower on it, so we might go and do that. I've got my eye on some land up sort of between the fourth field and the sawmill, so we'll go and take a look at that. But for now, let's go and try and clear some of this land down here for the cow pasture to be put down. So we've got our handy truck here. We've got the log deck on the back, brought the loader over with the log forks. I think we're going to just make a bit of a start. I might have to jump in and out between the build menu just to make sure we get down the right trees, make the right sort of area in here. But just looking as I drove in, we might keep that one just on the end for now. We'll see. It's not going to be the way of placing the pasture. It might be in the way of maneuvering in and out of here. But we'll keep that for now. This one here I think can go. What I reckon is a bit of a line. We're going to keep that big one on the left. So we take down some of the smaller ones to the right of that, and we might have to take a couple down over there on the other side. So get our chainsaw out. I'm not going to cut it down with an axe. That would be a little bit mad, but we will get it cut down here. So we'll just carry on. We'll get a few of these cleared and see what we end up with. Alright, we'll stop there. I'm going to keep these few trees along the edge. I just think it's nice to have a little bit of protection here to the coast. Probably take out that one more, but let's just take a quick look and see if that is enough of a clearing for what we are going to be putting down in here. Well, there we go. I think that looks like it's going to fit pretty much perfectly. Start out up on that one tree we said we'd leave, and that will snap in there quite nicely. I don't want to go any further up, otherwise we'll have cows walking through the access track, so we'll keep that down there. We also want to keep some space in case we want to put a TMR mixer or something like that in there. We want to have some space up around there to be able to place that in the future. So I think when we get to it, that is going to fit in there quite nicely. So with all those trees cleared out now just moving, we can move down further too if we decided. We may even do that. There's plenty of space. But with all those trees now cut down, let's go and get them picked up. We'll have to probably trim some to length to put them on the truck, and we'll get them loaded all up. And definitely first tree here, this is going to be much too long for the trailer. It'll probably actually sit on there alright. I wonder if we can gamble with it. What do you think? I reckon maybe we will try. Where that pig's going, wants to get a little bit of shade. Now he's going to gravitate and levitate up onto our truck. But there we go, that is actually going to sit in there alright. So I think if we're careful, we'll strap them on as we go, just so we don't get any wandering trees. And we'll go and get them all loaded up. There might be a couple that might be a bit long, but we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Alright, there we go, last log. Precariously perched on the end of our forks, but we should be able to get it in here. Now, that's actually worked out pretty well. Very well, in fact, that we've managed to get those logs all up in there without any problems. Now I'm just going to go and strap that up really quick. We're going to get a pig up on top of them too. Crazy things. But there we go. That has cleared out quite an area. And actually, if we get in and mow that, because I think we can probably go around the corner a little bit, dodge a couple of trees, and get a decent amount of land mowed. So that's going to be really good. So we're just going to go park this back up at the yard. We do want to head down, and we've got some more land we're going to clear. But for now, I'm going to get that load of logs sold. We'll leave the truck up the other end where we're going to be selling, then we'll come back and put the mower on, because I do want to use the mower to mark out the new field that I'm planning as well. So let's go and grab the truck and we'll stop in and check on progress with the cultivating on the way past. You certainly wouldn't want to be driving along behind me and miss your brakes. But there we go, let's have a look. How are we going? That is going pretty well. You can see Derek over there turning around. He is well and truly working on his up and down rows. We've got that set up on lands. So he's making good progress there. And look at the growth we've had in the corn since yesterday with all that rain and skipping through time a little bit just to get to some nice weather. We've had a lot of growth, which is fantastic, progressing things nicely. Now look, I'm just looking, there is lots of open areas through here. If we really wanted to, we could just about weave our way around with the mowers and pick up some of this grass. We would just have to be careful with making sure we get the windrower and everything through, but should be okay. And crop in there is looking good too, nice and healthy. A little bit yellow. Need to check if it needs more fertilizer actually. I can't remember if we needed to put more in there or not, but let's get down to the shop and get this sold, down to the sawmill. Alright, we'll leave that there and go and get it sold. Now I was contemplating, I know you get better value for the sort of 6 metre lengths. I was contemplating cutting the ends off there and seeing what we might get, but we'll just leave it on there. Let's have a look. 6.5 grand? It's not as much as I thought it was going to be. We've had better prices from bigger loads, but that's alright. Perhaps the wood price is a little bit shot at the moment. I get that strap sorted out. Can't undo it. There we go. Right, let's head back up to the top. We'll park this up and we'll see you back at the yard where we're going to get the fent out with the little mower on it. Alright, so we've got our front mower on. We're just going to get the back mower here hooked up. Hook that there and get our PTO connected. Oh, hoses, isn't it? This doesn't have a PTO, actually it's hydraulic driven. There we go, we can lift that up and should be able to fold it up too. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to top up with some diesel on the way past. Just notice we're not getting low, but while I notice it and remember it, we will do it. Otherwise, we'll probably end up running out at some stage. I'm going to break the bank, $37. Gosh, I wish diesel was that cheap. Anyhow, let's get through here and go down and see how much grass we can actually get mowing in here. I think I'm going to be actually quietly surprised what sort of area we can do. It could actually work out quite well. So let's get things unfolded. Do have to turn the front one on, lower that down, turn the back one on, lower that down, and let's start to slowly make our way around the outside of this field. Zoom back a little bit. There we go, look at this. Probably be able to cut in a bit tight around some of these areas, but I do have to be mindful of the fact we need to get the windrower and everything like that in. Let's go right to the edge of the coast here, I think. We'll mow around those trees and see what we can get going all the way up here. Because we can pretty much go all the way through to the field. This is actually going to be quite a big area. So let's carry on with this. We'll time lapse this very quickly and see what we can end up with. Alright, this actually has blown me away with how big this is, and I'm in two minds now about whether to keep these trees. I think with a little bit of judicious tree trimming and removal, we could actually make quite a decent sized field along here on its own. Even if we leave it as grass, just one that we come in and mow and make some hay or silage or that as we need it. But I reckon that could be quite a good option. Get everything turned off and lift it up. But if we took that tree out, we could take even just a couple off the edge there. Just make it a little bit wider at this end. Take those two that we left in the middle out, and then just take a few more of these smaller ones. Even once we've added the cow pasture in there, it is still going to be a decent distance. Maybe if we took 2, 4, 6 or 7 out, just back to that shorter one in there, and that would give us a field that goes the whole way around the end. So that is something I am actually seriously going to consider, because once we get cows, grass is going to become a much more valuable commodity to us. And we also know the value of silage. Now we can always do corn for silage or something like that, but at the moment we have everything we need to make silage without getting anything extra. Whereas to use the corn, we would have to get a forage wagon or a forage chopper, probably a tow behind one. We wouldn't be able to afford a self-propelled one at this stage. Maybe. Might be some good second-hand ones out there, but who knows. But anyhow, there we go. Right, Derek's progressing. He is doing a cracking job there. And it does make me think we're not going to need to put grass into that field. But let's see. I'm going to head down to the other end of the island, down towards the sawmill road, and we're going to have a look there and check out where we might start up another field. Alright, so we've left the truck just here. Now we're just going to pull in here and use a little bit of a magical drone and go up into the air and have a look at what we're thinking. So from up here you can see we've got a big clump of trees in here on the left between where we are and our current field. And then we've got another couple of big clumps here on the right. There's a little bit of a clearing here through the middle. And then along the top of the bank is some smaller trees a little bit more spread out. What I was thinking was coming through to this clump here, leaving the standard trees there on the corner, leaving the standard trees there between our field. Basically doing an L-shaped field, which comes across the top of the bank, back up to there, along to about where we are, and then wraps back around the clump. And I think that will be quite a decent size. Now obviously it's going to give us a decent amount of grass to start off with to make some silage or some hay, but in the long run I think it'll be good to have another field down here. It avoids also having to cut out a couple of these bigger clumps of trees. Now I did look over on the other side here of the road to see if there was an area we could clear, but I don't think we can get anything as big as this. And likewise either down there on the other side of our farm track or between the field and the farm track wasn't going to give us much yield. The other option, of course, is to clear some trees around the edge of some of the existing fields and go for a little bit bigger. But I think this is going to be our best option. So I'm going to jump into the mower and go and mow around some of the edges of those fields or edges of those trees and see what sort of area we can make. And then go and make a start cutting down some trees. So let's get in here. Make sure we're in about the right spot. So in fact, I'm going to go down and start down here on the end by the track, because of this it will give us a good point to start from. The other benefit to doing it here is we're so close to the sawmill we don't have too far to take our logs. So we get the back mower turned on, get them both lowered down. I'm going to start exploring in through here. Keep the trees on our left basically as the edge of the field. A nice straight section through here. We'll head down to this big clump and we'll have to turn right at one point. Probably just before we get to the really tall trees. You can see there's a few shorter ones in here. Don't mind taking those out. In fact, there's a little bit of a gap here. Let's head through here and see where this takes us. This is all a little bit of uncharted territory for me. We're just a little bit of making it up as we go. I reckon if we hang a left around there, in fact we could probably take those two smaller trees out. I probably left a bit more of this clump on our left than I wanted to, but I think this might actually work out quite well. We're down towards our current field, and right about there, in time to miss this tree, we'll take a right and head down towards the top of the bank. In fact, I have taken off a lot more than I had planned to do. That was sort of the gap through there we were planning on taking. So anyhow, having just cleared all those trees that we had up here previously, we're now going to have a whole lot more to clear. And then we'll weave our way along the top of the bank here. We might cut some down on the outside of where I've mown, but let's try and keep a little bit more realistic about this. We obviously don't want to get into too steep a ground as well. I think if we just stay on the right hand side of those trees, that'll take us straight through here. And we should be able to find a spot where we come back out to the road to the sawmill. In fact, let's see if we can stay on the left here. Or are we going to get into that steep ground I was trying to avoid. Looks like we're going to. Oh. Well, this has turned into a little bit of a little bit more exploring than I was expecting. But there we go, I think. There we go, and turn here. That's going to set us up quite nicely. So, next job, get in here and start cutting down some trees and clearing this out so we can get the whole lot mowed. So, we'll leave the tractor just parked up here somewhere. And I suppose there's no better place to start than here to get things cut down. So, chainsaw back out. Tractor parked up, out of the way. We don't want to crush it with a tree or anything like that. Leave that there, and we'll go and make a start on clearing some of this. So we'll catch up with you again once we're done. Well, I can't be 100% certain, but I might have some new evidence on the cause of global warming. And you're looking at him holding a chainsaw. We have got a little bit carried away. Said to myself we'd keep going until Derek was finished in the other field, and we've just had the little notification pop up there say he is done. But I've bitten off more than I can chew. This is this is a lot bigger than I thought. There's a lot more trees in here, and there's some big trees. So I've been thinking through what we could do. I have been wondering about whether we go and see if there's a winch we could use at the store, whether we could go buy a winch and then just drag the logs down to the sawmill, seeing we're so close. Some of these trees are massive, and we're just going to get this one done, and then we'll go up into the drone and take a look at what we've got. So, look at them all. It's like a game of pickup sticks. All the way around there, and we've still got, must be at least a dozen in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 or so trees. That is it has taken a lot longer than I thought, and has been a bigger job than I thought. But just think of all the money there. There's a fair bit sitting down there in logs. But I do wonder, because we're so close, the sawmill, whether we could just drag them down there. Don't know if it's going to be quicker. It must be quicker than loading them up, because we can just go and hook up and pull them down. So we'll go and have a look. But you can see over there Derek has finished. So with that in mind, we're going to go head back to the farm and get him set up with the planter. Still haven't decided what crop we're going to put in that field yet, but we'll figure that out when we get back over there. We'll have a chat to Derek and see what he thinks. And then we can come back down here with the loader and decide what we're going to do. So we'll get back over to the yard. Alright, so change of plan. Had a chat to Derek, and he agreed we should probably try out a winch. So he is going to head up to the shop in the Deutz. We're going to go over and carry on cutting down the trees. We will take the loader over, but even if we can use the winch just to pull everything into place, instead of having to use the loader to bring it all into a central position, that might save a whole heap of time as well. So we'll take this up there, and hopefully by the time we have finished cutting down all the trees, Derek should be back with the winch. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't cost too much either. We've given him a blank check, so very trustworthy, but he better not go and blow it all. Right, let's get up to the new field. I'm going to call it the new field because that's what it is, and carry on cutting down some trees. Well, we've just had $4.5 grand go out of the account, so it must mean Derek's at the store and has got our winch. That was that's quite affordable actually. It's not too bad. Worth the gamble on it to hopefully try and improve things here. So we're getting through this. Only 4 or 5 more trees, maybe 6 trees to go, and we'll be done. So by the time we're done here, Derek should just about be back. Alright, last one I think. We'll see in a sec. I'm pretty sure this might be our last tree, so we'll grab the drone out and have a look from above. Alright, and there you go, there you can see the mess we have made. Back around that way, looks like we have got them all. So there is a lot of wood down there. I'm not going to lie, that has exceeded my expectations, also exceeded my intentions. But anyhow, that'll be a good addition to our fields. Look at the size of it. Compare it to the one over there. Much, much bigger. Right, we'll keep an eye out for Derek. He can't be too far away, and give this winch a go. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Alright, here's Derek back, and winch on the back. So we'll go and get this over in the field and see how it goes. I think he'll probably want me to drive this I certainly want to give it a go. So we'll go and head over there and see how it all works out or not. Alright, so we're going to test it out on these few smaller logs there. So we're in the tractor, Derek is out there with the winch. We're just going to get him to connect things up and we'll see how it all goes. Alright, looks like we've got the winch attached. Now I think I'm going to turn it on first. Makes sense, not turn the tractor off, turn the winch on. Here we are. And if we press that button there, we can actually pull things in a little bit closer to us. Watch out, Derek. So let's give these a pull and we'll see how we go getting them down into the sell point. Hopefully we're going to make it work. This is actually working out quite well. Look at that. We'll just sled these 5 behind us. Oh, they're going to get away from us and take out the lamppost. That's not ideal. Obviously how well grounded there. But as dodgy as this seems, I still think this might be a more efficient way of getting them down here because we're so close than if we were to load them up. Because look at that, we've just got 4 down here relatively quickly. That should sell. We'll go put these in the trigger, head over here and see what we get for them. $2 grand. Right, well that's all looking like it could be a good option. I think we will carry on doing this. I think it's going to be the quickest way, most efficient way. And while we're doing this, we might actually let Derek take the fent, and if he goes hooks up to the cedar, I was thinking we might get some more canola or soybeans planted. I think they are the 2 things we probably need the most, and obviously we can make a decent amount of money off the straw. It seems to be worth quite a bit down at the shop. So we'll get him to take that back down and go and make a start on that. Alright, so we've got Derek is underway planting, we've gone with canola, and we are just going to try and play the biggest game of pick up sticks known to man. Try and extract some of these logs and get them down to the sell point. Let's try some of these bigger ones. If we can push them up just so that they're closer, makes it a bit easier to winch. And see how we go. I still think this is going to be the quicker option than loading them up. Obviously, we do have the truck and the front loader, but because we're so close, I just really do think this is going to be a good way to do it. Might have been, we might want to cut some of them up when we get down there, like I said earlier. Smaller logs are often worth more, but maybe we don't worry about that too much. Otherwise, we could take a very long time trying to optimize our income off those, and we'd be better off spending some time in here, getting things all tidied up and ready for mowing. So we'll see how we go. Right, let's very quickly get this hooked up and we'll get some more loads going. Well, I think we've found the limit. We've got 5 rather big logs in here and we're only just able to pull it. In fact, if I lift up the winch too high, a bit of a tilt, we end up doing a bit of a wheelie. So we'll keep that down a little bit lower and we're going to have to keep our foot in it when we head down the hill, because I am worried these might overtake us. In fact, I wonder if we pull them a little bit closer. Try and control them a little bit with the blade if we can. So fingers crossed this isn't going to turn into a disaster. Well, we've made it, but we won't be taking this many down next time, or at least not so many of these big ones. That's been a little bit of a struggle. But I am, because of their size, I reckon if we get them all into the trigger, we're going to be stuck there. I might just cut some of them, particularly around about here, and see if we can make a little bit more off them. Alright, let's go and see how we go with this load. 11 grand, that's a little bit more like it. I am liking that, right. Wow, that makes the pain worthwhile. Alright, well I'm going to carry on with this. We'll see if we can do another little bit more of a time lapse and try and get these all cleared out of the field. Just pulling the last logs out of the field. This has gone much better than I had imagined, and the 4.5 grand it cost us to buy the winch, forget about it, because we have made well in excess of 70 grand. We haven't even sold these, and we've got a few more down there, so we're going to be $85,000 richer as a result of clearing this field. We feel a little bit guilty, we do, but we've still got a huge amount of trees around. But this winch has been a lifesaver, really has. Now, Derek has been working away feverishly. He is all done with planting the canola we were putting in the other field, so that is good to get that done. So while we've been busy here cutting down trees and getting fields ready for grass, he has managed to cultivate and get that whole field planted. So we'll head down here, get these last few logs sold, see how much money we've made total from clearing all of these trees, and then we'll head back up to the yard and say our farewells and thank you to Derek. 12 grand for that wood, and if we just have a quick look in the economies menu, there you go, sold wood $82,000, so that is not a bad way to make some money. Now, we always knew logging was good. Imagine we cut it into firewood though. 1, how long would it have taken? 2, how many pallets would we have need? And 3, how much money would we have made from that? But I'm pretty happy with that. 82 grand, $137,000 in the bank account, so that sets us up nicely to be able to place that cow pasture. Obviously need to buy some cows, but also to maybe look at some other improvements. I was thinking, instead of doing silage in the pit for the TMR or for the cows, was to maybe wrap some bales just to make it easier to handle. But we'll see. Maybe we'll maybe this time around we'll do the pit, and maybe we'll look at a bale wrapper in the future. I'm not even sure how much that would cost, so we'll have to do a little bit of research into that. But that is fantastic. Obviously lots of grass work coming up, so whoever is interested in grass work, you like doing some tedding, windrowing, baling, all of those sort of fun things, make sure you leave a comment down below, because you can come and give me a hand out next time. Let's go and have a look how Derek's got on with the planting, and go and say our thank yous to him. Well, Derek, thank you very much for your hard work today. We haven't seen much of you, but I can assure everyone you have been working very hard. Great suggestion on the winch as well. That was honestly a lifesaver. I've just finished clearing that whole section out, $82,000 worth of trees, which means next time we'll be able to get in there and mow it. So great suggestion, and thank you for going and picking that up. And also, thank you for getting this field cultivated and planted. That has taken one more job off the list that I don't need to worry about, and leaves us very well set up for next time. So thank you very much. Now, to everyone else, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.